Okay, welcome to their live stream. So, if you have any question for the guest or any topics you would like for us to talk about, feel free to post them either in the Democracy Gaming podcast audience chat or in the citizens channel on the main Democraciv server. Okay, I welcome guest legislator StringLordInt from the Celestial Party. Do you want to do voice or text chat? I don't think you can do TTS. Do you want to? I think you need permissions to use it. Yeah, we're live. So, yeah, I thought we can talk about this proxy deal case stuff, since you're pretty, despite being absent, you were pretty much the whole center of the case. So did you really intend to appoint Charlie as your proxy, is the question. Since StringLord isn't doing voice chat, I will read his replies from the chat. Oh yeah, that's pretty simple. We lack a procedure for proxies in every way, although the Constitution recognizes they exist, which puts us on a legal loophole about their declaration. Their purpose, I guess it means. Which I would agree with. The Constitution is incredibly bare bones, especially on that subject. It just says proxy is a thing. Doesn't say how they are appointed, exactly what they really do, and when they're supposed to be used, or who can be one. I mean, technically I could become Charlie, StringLord's, or anyone's proxy. Charlie self-proclaimed himself StringLord's proxy. So where's the line, and why couldn't I just declare myself one as well? StringLord replies, this is a pretty big exploit, and I hope after this legislative session we will have it covered. Which I also believe. I don't think this loophole and this unclarity will last for much longer. I filed a case to the Supreme Court for them to make some rulings on how it would be resolved until we get a law on it. But they don't seem to think that's their purpose, so well, anyway, the legislators should be working on it. Should, I say, because last session they didn't vote in a single law, although 5 or so were proposed. But hopefully they will get some stuff done today or tomorrow. That's the next voting session. StringLord says, if you want my opinion about what the ruling should be, the Supreme Court should rule in the same fashion as they did in the last case, that they're unable to rule on stuff not in the rule of any law. Yeah, I suggested an amendment to fix at least part of that at least the Supreme Court should be able to rule on the Constitution and what it means and how it is applied. Otherwise, I also support, as I said, the Supreme Court making rulings to make de facto rules in the short term. StringLord says, simply because the Supreme Court setting a rule on how proxies should be handled could lead to some high-level judicial activism, which will take out power from bodies directly elected in favor for bodies more oriented towards internal deal-making and corruption. Which could be the case. I want the legislator to be able to overrule the Supreme Court and be able to make new laws and a new set of circumstances to go forward with the game and not have a Supreme Court ruling and that's it for the next year. I want the legislature to be able to change the direction the game is heading into. But in the absence of that, the legislator not making laws, the Supreme Court should, for the good of the game, be able to enact some stuff on their own, as long as the legislator isn't opposed to that. Meanwhile, I can say we got Joe Parrish, a minister from the Progressive Union, in the room, so to speak. Not an actual room, a room on an internet program thingy. Anyway, we got a reply from StringLord, who says, you have a point, although I would still be worried about the implications of an activist Supreme Court. Which is true. There's always dangers and risks with everything. But sometimes you should take them if the likelihood is larger than it's not for it to be beneficial for the game. And if it goes to shit, you should have the legislator on standby to rein them in. StringLord says, in my opinion, we should set it up so every feasible case will be dealt with using the law. Yeah, I don't think we should make it the default thing that the Supreme Court will be making de facto laws all the time because the legislator won't. But if the legislator refuses to do it, then maybe it's better to have the Supreme Court doing it than it's not being done at all and ending up harming the game. But if the legislator is active, of course it should be the lawmaking power and doing all of that. And now Bowie's here, unrelated to Democraciv, but he's here, just noting. And StringLord goes on with saying, instead of, not having half of it in the Constitution, even though it immediately raises these cases up. That's some weird English, and I'm not sure I understand it, but yeah. Okay. Any more questions on, any more points on this topic? Joe, you want to... maybe later, Bowie. This is primarily a Democraciv podcast right now. So, Joe, you want to say something? If the Discord voice chat works this time? We can take Bowie later. This is primarily Democraciv right now. But if you join my party, that will technically make you a part of Democraciv, and then I can have you on right now. I'm not hearing anything. But it didn't work here last time either, so... Joe, are you on the Iron Union server? I can set up a new voice chat over there. No, hell no. I'm out.
Hello.
Okay, let's test this. Can my voice be heard or can it not? Test. Let me hear myself on the stream. Testing. Can my voice be heard on the stream? If not, why? Okay, test again. Can my voice be heard on the stream? In that case, this was a stupid mistake. Oh my god, come on. Twitch, can't you support that really? Okay, is it working? Joe, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
You for all the shit that went down, because in the end I didn't do a much better job myself.
Well, I'm not surprised, but we're talking democracy right now.
Democraciv, okay, let's just be the awkward third wheel for a bit. We still can't talk.
Yo, are you trying to talk right now?
Oh.
Bowie, can you mute yourself? I'm hearing myself through you.
Will I just turn down? Okay, I'll do that for a bit. So please,
Hi Retro. Yo, still not working. Retro, what is the server location of this server? Like East, West Coast, US, Europe, Asia, whatever. You know. Well, this is all a very interesting stream. It's just me talking, a bunch of people muted and Bowie wanting to talk about DemoHOI4.
So, do we end up talking about another game then? Talk about the failed Victocracy. Failed Vic2 Republic.
Yeah, did that fail?
It's the only demo game which had Mark 1 end and then come back.
Okay, I got to go like 2 minutes and do something. I will be back soon. Don't make anything weird on stream. I will be watching the replay later.
Make sure to bury the hooker under quicklime. You might want to edit out. The Demo Gaming Podcast. Democracy Gaming Podcast. But this is going to be demo gaming. Probably just reusing an old screen. Some very interesting parts of demo gaming history which generally just go unreported by it. History.
Okay, I'm back. What did Bowie screw up?
Try to do a lecture about the history of the EU, but I was woefully underprepared.
Okay, does Joe work yet?
Joe has not figured out how to do this, but I'm actually... Wait, Joe, have you made sure that your Discord is allowing you to record audio? I had that problem myself. Figure it out. You're gonna have to type things out for a bit, Joe. Like after you say them, you know, you should probably just like... And we can like transcribe them to a problem.
Okay, let's talk DemoHOI4. What happened?
What happened is that, and this is actually aiming this up to make me seem better, because you've seen me talk about Mark 4. You know I don't do that often. Long story short, I delegated one job to IQRS, who I made a mod because, you know, fresh blood. Sometimes the system is so broken, you know, that due to repeated repairs of the system, from the outside, who can see that in the end you just need a new system. Steve, who ironically also took down this mod team, I don't blame him for your mod team falling. Definite irony that he was definitely behind that. I made Steve do a vote on whether or not to use man the guns. Yeah. And Steve immediately resigned. There'll be a vote required, yes or no. And I got a little over. I may have been a little over mad, but I think I was at a reason to be annoyed over Steve messing things up. And him and Reven started a campaign to remove him from modship, where every mod but Ohodorf, who I also modded because he's more active, and when he's active, he's the best part of this game. Ohodorf, I remove him.
Well,
Yeah. Hello, Joe. I just finished a story about how I lost my job in DemoHOI. Generally, my complete, just everything went tits up, and I was recalled. Came into power.
It's the curse of DemoHOI4 since last October. No one can do a productive game.
To mod the DemoHOI, you need to be the best mod in history. You, Cookie, and I just weren't.
That's not even enough. You need to be God himself if you're gonna work out that mess.
You're gonna need to be God yourself, and you need to find 3 other people who are God themselves and make a mod team out of them. Save it. We do need fundamental changes. Cookie. So, like, it needs a complete wipeout restart. Like, my actual original was to nuke the server, run, new name, new everything, and just advertise it from the ground up. Burn it down. You know what I mean?
I agree, actually. Like, DemoHOI4 is
Poison.
dead. It's dead. Let's just say it out, like, loud and clear. It is
Better
dead
than
and
Julius
buried.
Caesar's dick.
Huh?
I don't mean
What?
Julius Caesar's toenail, but you get the point. It is ceased to be. It is an ex-demo game. Indie Jacob actually was very much against the renaming and burning everything down. That's because I don't think Indie Jacob realizes how bad things have become.
Yeah.
Game,
I've realized them too. That's why I'm no longer really, like, active. It's just that I can't afford to try and, like, you know, dig something that's already 6 feet under.
tried to save it, and I did my best to try and save it, including touches of a head mod who I feel like wasn't doing a good job, and then approving the removal of a head mod I feel like wasn't doing a good job. But then it turned out I'm not a very good head mod myself. Ass mods. Some people just aren't head material.
Like, yeah, honestly, like, Bowie, I don't think you, like, it's not that you're a bad head mod, but I think, like...
I think Cookie and I's biggest issues were we are mods for a coasting altitude game. I feel like could have saved DemoHOI, but we're not the kind of head mod that needed.
No, it's like, there needs to be a more active head mod. I'm honestly looking at you, RB, and you, like, seriously, you are, like, no, look.
I feel like RB is the kind of mod who is great for an early demo game, like the beginning of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're amazing at starting things up. You have the passion and the determination to do it.
Thing is, he was briefly head mod, but generally I will completely agree that he was removed for good reasons. Also, we still can't hear you, Joe, so type what you want to say.
Good reasons like what? There was head mod for all of Mark II, basically.
Yes.
I feel like...
No, not basically. All of Mark II, period. Well, except for, like,
just...
before I joined, maybe.
DemoHOI. You were in a different DemoHOI. The DemoHOI you were in...
A DemoHOI which actually worked, unlike Mark 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9.
No, the thing wasn't that your approach, which while would be great to getting a new game off the ground and to getting a game that's young, it was deemed a little bit of a spin in the face of the democratic traditions we established. Established something by then, it's great to. You probably are a great mod to start something up, but I don't know if you're that. I think you're only an average mod at reviving things.
Then who is actually a great mod?
Great mods, like we're all great mods at different times. Like Walkery, you know that guy. I will give him. He is great at revivals. DU was in worse shape than DemoHOI when he came into power.
And how is it doing now?
It's thriving.
It's thriving?
Relatively. It's from when it was last year. This time last year. It is thriving.
Really? I never would have thought.
I know. It's like, okay, yes, sure, our last 2 head mods resigned before their term ends to retire. But generally, we all knew Sykes was going to retire. Even I pretty much called it that. Make
Who was
me head
going to
mod.
retire?
Sykes, Sykenick, the German guy, lovely man. It was quite clear he was not headball material. He needed a break. Like, he actually had a breakdown because me and Roy just agreed on something which he did not like. That guy, he is the second best second in command I've ever had, but he wasn't fit for his task.
Yeah, personally, I'm not like we're going on a bit of a tangent here, but personally, I think I would be a terrible head mod. I just don't have that like level of charisma, that ability to just mobilize people. You know?
But it seems like it's all got lost in the delegation, judging by how one of my mods quit after I made him do a simple yes/no vote. The thing that brought down me being head mod was because, I kid you not, I had Steve do a vote on where to use the upcoming DLC. He resigned a day later and said, "Well, if I've done a few years." No vote. Like, there's no STV. It was just yes, no, abstain. I was giving them a task because I realized that I had two DU mods. Like having them. Also,
I don't know. IQRS, like, I don't know. He never, like, he arrived. I'm not saying he's a good or bad mod or person. I'm not, like, even,
no fucking argument. He is a great person.
He just arrived out of nowhere, and I don't think he ever, like, you know what I mean? I don't think he ever fit in. If it makes any sense. I brought him in. Perhaps the community is too closed.
It made perfect sense. In fact, that's what I want. I want an outsider to come in to see what we're getting wrong that we can't see we're getting wrong because we keep being obsessed with the tradition and the quick fix. That's he was like fourth choice. My first choice was Ojima, who refused. My second choice is Ryham, who didn't reply. And KVN was my third choice, who also didn't reply. So an IQRS applied, so I had to choose him.
That's fair. No, but no, never mind. Keep going. Actually,
I'm just saying that the reason I chose IQRS was because he was the only fucking outsider who was interested.
Yeah, honestly, like DemoHOI4 has a very bad case of old guardism.
That's true. Like, even I will actually say it was the instrumental part of me not being head mod anymore.
Yeah, like,
honestly, even got pissed.
Pardon me, you started lagging, Bowie. You're still lagging.
Oh shit, I can't hear myself.
I just think people are too easily offended and are not trusting at all of the moderators in power. They want it now, they want it without compromise, they can't stand for the tiniest flaw in the system. If there's a flaw, then the entire thing must be burnt down and we need another mark and repeat for the next 2 years. That's all we have done since last year.
Two things. First of all, it wasn't the best move, but it was a move which I will always think it wasn't the best move, but I feel like it was the right move.
It was like, I understand your reasoning behind it. Really, I understand why you did.
Yeah, we shouldn't have. Yeah, we shouldn't have gone rid of you, but it was right to get rid of you. You know what I mean?
What did you say?
I feel like I feel like I shouldn't have got rid of him. I feel like I was right to get rid of him. Apologies to you two decent people. This is mostly from a DemoHOI thing, sorry. But anyways, it is very much since it's with DemoHOI, we need to tear the house down. That looks garish, it doesn't work right. You can't put like anything good in it. Down so we can build a new house. but everyone's too attached to the old house.
Hmm.
Okay, so I want to bring up some comments from
Cookie's quick points.
the Democracy Gaming Podcast chat. Cookie Machine is saying that the Hearts of Democracy idea is fully supporting that, and we need a clean slate. And StringLord is even more extreme by wanting to actively censor the old DemoHOI4 history so that we don't get tied down by the old baggage.
Okay, I mean, I believe, like, okay, no, go ahead, Bowie.
I say we should not censor it, but we should absolutely start a new game, new name, and if anyone asks us our connections to DemoHOI, we left a long time ago. We just decided to try and do a model government with HOI4. We should actually try and just say, when we do this whole research thing, since I think at this point it's gone beyond hypotheticals, we should take a new name, advertise in the HOI4 server, and advertise in model government. Oh yes, model government. Fuck, what are they called? Oh yes, model government subreddits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those don't generally take advertising. I made a post, a PM, direct message to every one of them I could find. The Dutch, the Croatian, the Swedish, the German, the French, whatever. And only one of them replied, actually, and it was the Dutch one who gave us a shout out in their Discord.
Oh, yeah.
That's because I'm practically Dutch.
Oh, yeah, what I was saying is, what do you think about memes? For example, who is the real taco? What do you think we should do with these? Like, I personally think we should keep them just because, like, I don't would do. You know what I mean? Like,
sorry, I just have to do something really quick. I'll be back in just a second.
All right. Wait, I've heard about, like, I've heard, you know, String say that we should delete meme comments because they're, yeah, like, not comments, meme commands to completely, like, start on a blank slate. I personally believe it's a bit too extreme. So, like, what do you think, RB?
Deleting meme comments.
Meme commands, like bot commands.
Oh, definitely. That's just down the rabbit hole. Just making a.
You think we should?
Yeah, I think it's just become like when we had that damn dad bot thingy, and that's all people did for weeks, was just playing with the damn thing instead of planning for the actual game.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not saying that it's gone.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. But yeah, it was personally complete. It was just removed. Like, I don't think it was. It should be. I don't think who is the real taco should be removed. I think it should stay there. Yes, because it's not like anybody uses it anyway. It's just there once in a, like, so that once every few months we just have a laugh, look at Mark II, and that one time Vico Taco was, you know, absent. Well, was absent forever.
Forever.
Well, he was not absent forever. Even although knowing him in real life, he's basically left Discord for all intended purposes, except D&D. But yeah, like,
we've lost our tacos.
Yes, we have lost our taco, or tacos, or whatever. However, yeah, I believe it was was it in Mark II or Mark III? Sorry, we're going off on a tangent here, but
this is a demo gaming podcast.
We could tackle, I mean.
We could what?
We could tackle, or what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, but I mean, he played in both Mark II and Mark III. He's,
yeah.
Again,
the meme was a Mark II thing.
Okay, right. Yeah. So
What?
it was UK.
Meme
UK.
was like,
That's right.
paste hobo.
The old UK server, which is still there actually.
The server now.
Hmm?
It's Alex's private server now. Well, it's not really private.
Yeah. Well, it's not really part of it. I'm still part of it. I never left it. But yeah, this I'm funnily enough, I still have the nickname, obviously the Vico Taco on that. But yeah, anyway, point being, I don't know if I don't think we should delete them. Like, I don't know. But then again, who am I to say that? I was, very closely involved with the meme, so I might be biased.
Like, as long as it's not a Discord command to a commenting, like in DU, Steve had the fucking dumb idea of setting the F message. When someone leaves, you just press a capital F. That triggered a Dino command, and everyone got pissed because it was shit.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Yes. He did that on DemoHOI4 too, like the SpongeBob thing.
Yeah.
It's for friends who like something. F is for friends. Something.
But like, for who is the real taco, that's worked because it's not something people post regularly. It's just look, this callback.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that happened in Mark II. It was funny. Moving on.
Really pissed is purging roles. Like, there's some roles that got purged, and I'm really angry. Like in DU, for everyone who showed up to the first anniversary. And that also brought to the short-lived meme of.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like, role purging should. Well, I don't know. Role purging is different because it's not like there's an easy way to just like manage roles on Discord. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like the only thing you can do is delete them or organize them in a humongous list. Other than that, well, tough luck, I guess.
Honestly, role purges are more something like the mod's life easier than for the actual members.
Yeah, it's for ease of like administration. I don't believe it should necessarily like. I believe at least I don't know. Perhaps it's an incoming feature, but some sort of like role, instead of just having roles that have different priorities, having role perhaps like role categories.
That's actually a really cool idea.
Like like blue, say like blue, red, green, and yellow, all are in the same category, and then like pink and purple are in a category below. But it would allow for. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Say like the Fascist Federation and like the Island Unionist Party are like in the party category, while Supreme Tribune and Minister are in the government category.
Yeah, perhaps these categories could display. Perhaps or perhaps again just for ease of to easily configure priorities instead of having say 20 roles that have roughly the same, or that have the exact same functions and are just one above the other. We could all have those 20 roles in the category, and said category has the priorities for all of them. If it makes sense.
I enjoy the idea. That is a good idea, in my opinion.
Yeah, perhaps we're spewing so much bullshit that everybody left. I love it.
There's still 4 people watching on Twitch,
including you.
Okay, there's still 3 people using the Twitch.
Yeah, I know.
RB, are you on
Cookies.
Twitch?
Yeah, I'm Twitch too. So probably us 3 plus Cookie that's watching.
No, it's I'm not on Twitch, so it's like the 2 of you plus 2 other people.
Who is the person who isn't Cookie?
Think like Funk Bing or something. Thin Bing, Funk Bing,
It's
whatever.
actually gonna be Obo. This is how Obo Durf returns.
Yeah, perhaps it's secretly Obo.
Oh, it's secretly Victaco. Because
No, like I know it's not him. I know it's not. It can't be.
It's probably not Obo Durf either.
Who is it then?
It's Hulk Hogan. He's the 3rd man, brother.
Mr. Brother or something.
Anyways, back to demo gaming, because Hulk Hogan is not the conversation topic we should be talking about right now.
Who cares? At this point, nobody's watching anyway.
People on YouTube.
Wait, is this going on YouTube?
Yeah, ha got you.
Okay, well then I'm officially in the YouTube video. Hello, YouTube.
Hello, world.
I had no idea. I had no idea even when I joined.
I did. But anyways, back to demo gaming. So let's go to DU, I guess. I mean, we've talked about DemoHOI and all its faults.
Okay, sure. I don't know much about DU, but okay.
Jenny, I do know a lot of DU, and hey, Cookie, do you want to jump in the voice chat?
Wait 15 seconds for the Twitch delay.
Right, I'll just get the invite ready just in case Cookie wants to actually join. Waiting for the delay. I don't have a mic, and where is the voice chat?
The voice chat is on the Democraciv. Perhaps we could move to another server. Perhaps we could move to like
I think we can move back to the Democracy gaming podcast server, but that we were on before you jumped on. I can link it for
or
you.
perhaps we could just move to the archive DemoHOI4. DemoHOI4 like general server.
We don't have. I left the archive server. Don't we have a voice chat on the new server?
I don't know. There's a music channel. Could work. Let me try.
It works. Hello, world, again.
It's slightly glitched, but oh, never mind. Okay, it's working.
Hello, Cookie, we're on the DGHistory server. Anyways, on to DU. Just when you go to DU, sir. Anyways, do you have any questions about DU today? Second demo gaming, the EU4 demo game for all the not knowledgeable about demo gaming. If you here who have weathered through this, I give you all a pat on the back.
I don't think I have anything to say, honestly.
Yeah, I've never personally been part of Democracia Universalis, so it's not like I can really,
Let's just start by running down a bunch of shit. Super Steve, IQRS, currently vacated. You know what? That actually is something I can talk about. Also currently vacated. Acting head mod is IQRS. Because guess what just happened?
Huh.
We had a moderation election. And it ended up both candidates had a perfect tie. Do a runoff election. They had to do a second election to get this right. Many tears were shed.
So who won?
We haven't done the second election yet.
Guys, sorry, I have to go. Okay, talk to y'all later.
Oh, you're forever or for just now? Will we?
Just the two of us. Yeah, go on. Oh, hi, Cookie, even if you can't talk.
Cookie, try and mute yourself and see if your thingy majigger has a built-in mega majigger. Hello, world.
Hello, world.
It works! It's alive!
It's alive! The great Cookie Machine is alive! The guy who just left was Joebob, in case you didn't catch his name.
Yeah, he's a good dude. At least when he's not a double agent.
Good dude, at least when he isn't gone. Hey, I thought we were gonna talk, Cookie. We're gonna talk about you. We're connected on such a promotional level, Cookie. Ow, my chest hurts.
I actually don't remember any.
Okay, so Cookie, do you know anything about you?
By how he's been there for a while and has been on the ministry, I'd hope to God he does.
I remember some things, but I've been inactive for 7 months now.
Yeah, you went inactive a while back. Just generally, DU is it's actually thriving. It's weird. Like, it's really fucking weird. I guess we can talk about the failed demo game. I'll give you guys a link so you can check out the server. Feed. Here is Victocracy. It was a Victoria 2 demo game attempt. It went through many problems. Mod election, where generally the whole post was, we need a new mod so one of you guys run. The mod team itself executively decided to remove another one for inactivity. So whether or not people should stay mods.
Okay.
It is very...
But did you manage to get it running?
Like, it was a bit of a failure, honestly. God.
Well,
It's on the light.
yeah, go on.
Well, I guess terms. There's another Victoria 2 demo game which I didn't cause the failure of. That failed by itself. See, went dark for 7 months because the head mod had his PC be in the shop, which immediately ended because the head mod got his PC back.
Okay.
Like,
So,
they didn't actually have games marked in Victocracy in Vic2 Republic. Interesting, since it denies the category of the mark that never was, a term used for demo gaming games, which never actually occur, is Victocracy Mark 1 and DemoHOI's Marks 4 and 5. 0 games.
yeah. So I was about to say that since I dropped out, if you make an exception for that brief head mode term I had in May, I believe it was, since I left DemoHOI4 in last autumn, I have been trying a lot of custom-made board game, demo game stuff.
Oh yes, those.
Yeah, Bowie, you haven't been involved, but I got a bunch of the other DemoHOI4, some DU people involved and a bunch of new people. And while it was fun for a part, both broke apart because of my moderation, unfortunately, because they thought my game master decisions was unfair, according to them. They maybe had a point.
Sorry, I just didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, they thought my game master decisions was unfair, so both sort of ended up with people dropping out, which is a failure for me personally. and a failure for the game, of course. So yeah,
Maybe you know that? Have you ever heard the Discord Nation server?
yeah, I've seen ads for that.
Yeah, it's actually a good server. I recommend it takes if you actually do want to try that board game thing. I think you might just. I recommend just taking a few lessons from Discord Nations.
Yeah, how are they doing that really? Is it just text or?
It's completely text.
Okay, because the purpose of the custom-made board game was because you can always RP with text in a dungeon or a bunch of countries, and you can do that. There's many Reddit communities that they do that, submit a claim or whatever, and then they do some fake war in a bunch of text stuff. But the difference with the DGHistory games and DG Cold War was that there was a map, and there was very specific rules on how we could move units, how much they cost to buy. So it was like a real advanced board game in the middle between a real computer game and an actual physical board game. It was sort of middle complexity there. And so it wasn't just text, and that for me made it much more interesting because there were actual rules and there was more depth to it. So I don't think just text would suffice to interest me personally.
Actually, so since if I would, if you do one of those again, might actually become active in them because the concept recently probably would have been active on DG Cold War, but I didn't really have an interest in a Cold War game. Medieval, I probably will be active.
Yeah, now here's Revan as the bad guy again, because after I left DGHistory, he actually offered himself to take over. He and StringLord offered to take over as new game masters, and guess what they've done? They've done shit since February.
Reven, honestly, in my opinion, Reven, ever since the incident with me as head mod, where he actually managed to rally my removal as head mod around me getting pissed that someone didn't do an easy job I told them to do. Like, honestly, I don't respect Reven as much as I used to. I hate him. Let's hope he never listens to this.
I don't think he will.
No, anyone will listen this far in. If you do, bro, fist man, 3 thumbs up. My left foot's big though. So yeah, I heard there was a. So what actually did do in DG Cold War?
What happened, you mean?
Has told me pretty much has explained what occurred with DGHistory.
DJ Cold War ended because the US didn't want to found NATO, or at least it took so long, so Europe decided to form its own NATO, and they played by me, and of course the Soviets went all aggressive to metagame the game, so I went aggressive on them in return to act as a counterbalance, since the US was all pacifist, and according to me. So
the second Spy Wars?
So what happened was that I threatened to go to war with the Soviets as basically European NATO, and the US was like, no, don't, you're not a player, you can't just take over the game and just be the third superpower by yourself, which is pretty much true, somewhat at least. But anyway, so France, unlike the other NATO countries, was also played by another player, and he decided to become very irrationally pro-US, to the point where he invited US troops to fight in Vietnam, to fight in Algeria, to...
Jesus Christ, your DG older history game still fucking has Vietnam happening in it.
Yeah, it was basically get me US troops everywhere. So US was in Vietnam, it was in Algeria, there was everywhere, and
your mother, it was very complicated.
Vietnam was just weird because you know what happened? He invited the US to help him win the war against the communists in Vietnam. And guess what he does next? He voluntarily gives up Vietnam to the communists as long as they act as a buffer zone to China.
God, that is so fucking stupid.
Like China is also communist, Vietnam is communist, but as long as communist Vietnamese agreed to act as a buffer, he let them be independent. But why did he invite the Americans to fight for him? It didn't make much sense. Anyway, so the
He just really wanted that buffer zone.
Yeah, he
Actually,
really wanted that. And Algeria never became independent because the US sent in their entire army and just knocked the shit out of the rebels. So no independent Algeria. And yeah, you should read the have you read the DJ Wiki?
I actually kind of I've read some of it, but I really kind of stopped the editing after our argument about whether or not Victocracy Mark 1 was a mark that never happened.
Yeah, because there is a timeline for every turn. There's like 60 turns for DJ Cold War, and there's a summary for every turn, what happened, diplomacy, war, and you should read that because, yeah. So anyway, the game ended because there was basically a three-way Cold War, because not only between the West and the East, like US, Europe, and against the Soviets, there was a Cold War between Europe and the Soviets, and Europe and the US. So the US and Britain, which I played as the first Europe, was in a Cold War. So the Brits invaded American-occupied Taiwan because Britain was fighting for the nationalists, but the Americans wanted a democratic, peaceful China, even if it was communist. So the Brits invaded to take back Taiwan for the nationalists, which ended up the Americans started sinking British destroyers in Bermuda, and there was basically World War III is going to happen, but it's the US and Britain who are going to start it with against each other, and the Soviets are just going to sit on the side and just, what the hell are they doing?
Honestly, if I were in your position, I would have kept the game going, just see how the fuck it would end up.
Yeah, so as I said, France was played by another player who was pro-US, even if that didn't make sense, because if France was going to be pro-US, that means they had to be anti-Europe, since Europe was in a Cold War against the US, so France being pro-US. So France being pro-US, that would mean they would be surrounded by enemy countries who saw France as a US puppet. So that wouldn't be very wise, I thought, for France. It would be better if they joined together with the Europeans, and then they didn't have to have all their neighbors being hostiles. And I thought that makes sense, doesn't it, Bowie? What do you think?
Yes, but I honestly, I can see both ways. I can see both ways. I can see both sides of the issue. It is dumb that they would side with a country about a content way, but I can also see why they lie with the US, what with various historic reasons, and the fact that generally I do understand that if shit goes down, France could believe that they and the US could handle it. But I don't see where France is coming from.
Yeah, they wanted to side with the US because they were so powerful, but in doing that, they made all the neighboring countries enemies, and that would like set up, instead of the Berlin Wall, there would be like a Paris Wall against Belgium and Germany, and there would be like British blockades on the French coast, and I thought that doesn't make sense to divide Europe like that again after the Berlin Wall. So I said,
well, it does kind of make sense if in game the president of France just was very much an Anglophile who liked America, who like it was what word I use? Americophile, I guess, who loved America and just felt like they were the best choice.
Yeah, but the game, I would say tries to be realistic, but that went all out the window, because the Chinese Civil War, which ended 49 historically, it didn't end in 1956, and by then it was a British guerrilla war against the communists, and the Soviets had basically directly invaded the entire China and just fought directly with the British, and it was all sort of weird shit. So anyway,
that's such a fucking clusterfuck. That's just a little bit of me that thinks that might actually be possible. From it is a big clusterfuck, and it is very improbable.
Yeah, all of it was improbable. So anyway, so the game tries to simulate not just the leaders of the country, but also the sort of governments in place. It has the DGHistory had as well, and DGColor. They both had economic systems, how much money a country had, so they can only buy so much troops for the money and the industry they had, like E4 and HOI4, basically the same development industry system. So now I don't remember my point anyway. So I took the control away from France because the pro-US player had left, so StringLord took over France, and I said he was basically more neutral, but he wanted a competition for me as Britain and for the US to basically who does France the most favors wins their allegiance. And I said, no, that doesn't make any sense, because I don't think the French government or the people would want to have their neighbors as enemies. So they would side with a united Europe instead of their nearest friend would be across an entire ocean. So I took the control away from him and said, no, France is not going to join the US. They will go back to European NATO. So things start making more sense again. And that's when the boycott started, and all of the current US government left the game.
Actually see France doing that. Imagine a proud French president just thinking that America, they did so well in the last war. Hell, they just thinking this is a country that has a fucking nuke. Like, I think I could imagine like a French government of a certain kind, America, and like just working with them and not caring that everyone else hates them. The competition thing, I actually think, was lifted straight out of history.
I think it was too artificial, because you go from...
Fair enough. I was there, so I'm just saying it from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. What?
You can theoretically invest your entire economy in hummus. It's going places.
Possibly.
Nice. Anyways, back to it. Like, from my point of view, it feels like quite obviously in practice it was different. Like, quite obviously in practice it looked artificial. It felt artificial.
Yeah, it did, and that was why I said stop for it, because I thought they have been pro-US, weirdly pro-US in a sort of nonsensical way, and then suddenly we're gonna have a competition. Either the Britain or the US try to benefit us more, and who does benefit us the most win. And I thought that doesn't make sense in the eyes of the people of France. They just want peace, they just want to have safe borders, they don't want to have blockades, and they don't want their former allies in Europe, the Brits, the Belgians, they don't want them to be their enemies. So I thought they would stick with their neighbors and not with someone on the other side of the ocean. I thought that was the most sensible option.
Weirdly, I kind of both agree and disagree with you at the same time. I agree with the basic fact that going from very pro-US to having a competition is dumb. That it was artificial and it was dumb, and they shouldn't have done that since it just ruined the flow. But I could imagine France just getting into a jingoistic, like, oh, we're better than our neighbors. America's a great country to be alive with. I think was a dumb idea, and generally I do think the competition like the competition was a problem. I'm done. You can continue. You can reply.
Yeah. So the game, I had been pretty burned out because the game had been going on for 2-3 months at that point. So I was pretty much done with the game. We had been going on. We started in 1946, and it was 1962 or 3. So actually, the U.S. and Soviets had actually invaded and fought on Cuba against each other. Meanwhile, as the U.S.-British Cold War was going on. So yeah, at the very end, the Soviets actually invaded. They funded a coup in India, which turned India into a communist government, which they accidentally invaded after the coup because of some technical rules. They didn't ask for permission to enter India, so it counted as by the game rules as an invasion. So they took some land, despite having recently couped them for their own ideology. And then there was a US-funded civil war, liberals fighting against the communist Indians, and the US was planning a direct invasion from the peacekeeping forces from China. And the game just went very weird, but it was very interesting, actually.
The post-Cold War game. Like, if you talk about that, just doing a game after the Cold War.
Like 1990s, 2000, War on Terror stuff.
December 25th, 1991. That's all. Where the fuck do I find this? I'm just trying to find the wiki page for DGHistory, since this actually is getting to my mind, but who's in place with that place, that H1. Anyways, I would like.
Yeah, go on.
I do think that if you ever do get around to reviving it, post Cold War, like December 1991, the USSR has just fallen. So many new countries are in this world, and they're all having to try and find their own way. Yugoslavia is on the brink of collapse. It will be very, very interesting.
Okay, so I'm uploading the endgame map to the off-topic on the DemoHOI4 server now. It's a pretty large map. So otherwise, about your post-Cold War idea, I have actually planned for a proper World War II game instead, or like
your voice has like very robotic, like it's.
Oh yeah, it was because I was uploading the picture. It's up now. Is this better?
Yes, it is. But on my side, it just looks like a shit with stars around it.
Yeah, you must open it in the browser. It's so large, so Discord can't even preview it.
I'm worried. I'm so fucking worried.
So,
oh god, it's loading.
Yeah, be prepared for weird shit. Literally weird shit, because that's what the preview picture is.
Put this on the fucking map. Like, when you're uploading it to YouTube, just slip this in for this period. Like, can't even zoom. It's so laggy.
Yeah, like Cookie said, it's 19,000 pixels by 6,909.
Damn it.
That's like, it's several meters wide, actually. So if you would print that out, it would be like your whole house.
Like, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, it's terrible!
Wait, is it still loading for you?
Seeing it. There's a weird French line in Vietnam.
Yeah, that's the buffer zone.
Buffer zone between two communist states. can't see why you did what you did. Like, oh my god. What the fuck? Oh my god, please, what the...
Yeah, and France asked the US to help them secure the colonies from going independent, and then they just gave them independence anyway, so I don't know what the...
You said, okay, you can become independent, just give me this little bit over here, please, sir. Oh my fucking shit. Oh, Madagascar still isn't independent. The penguins are still not free. Is Israel on the map, or is that just France?
It's Israel. France hasn't conquered it yet.
Yet. Keyword, yet. And then there's India. Yep, I can definitely see there's some shit going on in India.
Yeah, I don't think you have the newest map, but the one before that. But if you look at Chad in the middle of Africa.
Oh my god, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 different countries.
Yeah, that's what the Soviets did with the rebel funding budget.
Oh, it's like, you need to put this on stream and just zoom into the part you're talking about. Like, and like, no, you shouldn't put it on stream since it's too late. When you're uploading it to YouTube, just zoom in on these parts to show how dumb they are. God.
Yeah.
Britain did very well. They even conquered part of Yemen. Maybe that's just actually how Yemen's borders were.
Is that a bit of France in Morocco?
Morocco, yes. That was, if you see the green troop there, the 0.9, that's actually the Moroccan freedom fighters who liberated nearly all of Morocco because France wouldn't give them independence.
Did that? Back to those Moroccans.
Yeah, it was very weird because he let communist Vietnam go independent, and then he gave sort of semi-independence conditionally to southern colonial French Africa, but he didn't want to give Tunisia and Morocco their historical independence. So he just said, well, you can get independence in 2 years if you have free and fair elections first, but they need to guarantee you have the proper institutions, like you didn't have 50 years of colonial rule to do that.
Yeah.
And then they just rose up and conquered the country for themselves, while the Americans and the French were all focusing on Algeria.
Algeria, it has a different color to France.
Yeah. If you look at the earlier maps, there's a sort of red color in Algeria. That's the Algerian rebels who first rose up. But he didn't want to accept them as the government because he thought, well, they're undemocratic and such. So he conquered Algeria back for France and then gave Algeria to another Algerian state. So there was actually 2 Algerian states, one for the rebels and one for the French Algerian puppet state thingy. Yeah, it didn't make much sense any of it.
Yeah, like, oh my god, like, no, I'm gonna say it is very realistic. This makes no fucking sense whatsoever out of context. Also, Trinidad and Tobago is independent. There's no real fact on that. I just want to point out that it's very hard to notice that Trinidad and Tobago is in fact an independent country. Like, oh my god, like, wait, I don't, like, there's, oh, Australia never lost Papua New Guinea. Papua is still part of Aussie.
Yeah, I didn't pay too much attention. For like the first half of the game, all focus was on China. So there technically was supposed to be the Indonesian-Dutch war that made Indonesia independent, but I forgot to move the Dutch troops for like 3 years in game, so they just stood and stared at each other, even though the Dutch had all superiority and could just knock them out and win as they did historically before they had to give it up due to diplomatic pressure. But they just stood there and stared at each other, and when China ended, I remember that, oh shit, I should do something about Indonesia.
The Dutch army are just there having a nice beach holiday.
Yeah, against inferior Indonesians, we just stare at each other like, aren't they going to attack us soon? They're more than us, they're more powerful than us. No, they just like standing there and watching us.
Playing in the beach, like they're in full regimental army, imagine like an 1800s like soldier, and they're just playing the beach. Like what? Some of them are playing volleyball. I'm talking. That was a joke.
Well, you can see that China is united right now, but yeah,
It's easy.
you haven't seen the border gore China. I will find a picture of it and link it to her, because it's horrible. Because if it's like 4 Chinese states, all the Soviets, British, the Chinese, both the Chinese, the Communists and the Nationalists, and the US are all occupying part of China, and they have set up buffer zones to keep other buffer zones out. I will link a picture because it can't be explained in words. It really can't.
You'll have to show this in the YouTube video too. And oh my god, did Paraguay lose some land, or is that just my mind playing tricks on me?
No, I don't think so. I think they have the land, but my map making skills weren't perfect, so I had to change some provinces since the start of the game. Since countries got too much.
I've actually go with the same. Oh no. Okay, so like, oh, that's a lake. Yes, Cookie, that is a lake. Oh god, we're gonna really need to link those. Holy fucking shit! What the fuck?
Also, let me link you a picture of the battle plans, how it actually looked like during the combat phases.
It's a fucking monster. A monster. Holy shit, look at that border gore. The Greens were going to try and make a suicidal attack on the Blues, while the Blues were going to try and walk very, very far to go to Greece in their holidays, and some are going to Bulgaria. One of them just going outside Istanbul.
Comes. Yeah, that's how like 10 years of Chinese Civil War looks like after.
We need to put these videos on the YouTube video. Like, we need to put these up, because otherwise they'll have no clue what the fuck the context is or how fucking abysmal this is. Like, that line looks like a river. It's a fucking river. They just built a giant river.
Yeah, that's just for the map. It was a proposal to split up China into different states, so that's just not part of the actual map, thankfully. But I actually I uploaded a time lapse of the war, so you can see it the entire from the start to finish. And it's just what were general thinking really.
You'll need to put these on the edited YouTube version. You know, the one that edits out my murder the hugger comment, because like this just needs it. Fucking. Okay, there's an actual video which you'll also have to put on the stream, because
yeah, I think I'm gonna show the actual. Wait, have you started watching it yet? because pause it right now, then we can follow it on the stream together, and they they can watch our live reactions.
Okay, but for the YouTube version, you have to edit in all the maps for the YouTube version, because I am not robbing these people of these fucking maps. It would be wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna set up OBS and hopefully I get this right.
The 15-second delay, so that's going to be on the Twitch. Oh. So, the two people, three people now. We've got a person. We've gained someone. This is gonna. Just, you know, just goes ring, 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 ring. Right home. In the chat currently, to keep the all one person in the Discord team entertained. Tommy Dreamer. Oh no, Tommy Dreamer. Oh fuck! I can hear my own voice. Shit. Tommy Dreamer. Voice shit. Well, that's just the. I kind of wish could like create a never-ending loop of Tom the Dreamer, but we can't. Oh, back on mute. This is gonna be so. Watching it this time. Holy shit!
We are like I think we're 2 hours in now.
Or 3 actually, I think. Viewers. Yeah, we're 2 hours in, I think. Yeah, we're about 2. We're about 2 hours in. Too sweet that any broski is still watching. Every third hour comes to a free mental examination for what the hell you're doing.
Okay, I think I have managed to set up the YouTube player on the stream. So let's switch over to that. So when I say go, you can start the time lapse and we will react live to it.
Just back to the beginning. Just so you know, yeah. Back at the very beginning at 0, 0, 0.
Okay, go.
Dun 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 dun. Okay, nothing too bad, so bad. Oh wait, this town enclave. Oh wait, no, it's gone. Oh, found a few more enclaves. Point them out, but you won't be able to see my pointing.
What happened to Korea?
It's the same thing.
Nothing happened in Korea because everything happened in China that would have happened in Korea, but wars.
Korea War is now the China War.
No, the color of Korea just changed. That's a lie.
And then we have the enclave, of course, yes. Am I meant to only be able to the northeast of the country? I can only see the northeast of the country. Oh, okay. Before the 6th winter. Of enclaves. Oh. Oh, no, there's a huge enclave right there. So the thing. Well, those are just the communist side, nationalist side, American side. Beijing full to Chinese communists. Orders are beginning to make me reach for my bleach. Oh my god, I need the eye bleach. The eye petrol and an eye match, I'll just burn them out. Solved. yellow like China that we nationalists trying to say. What's brown? British line.
Brown is the pro-British nationalist puppet state that was attempting to be, hey, we're neutral, don't invade us, but no one believed it.
Fair enough. Oh, Tibet. That became a thing. Didn't even notice on the map. Long does it.
Also,
very interesting.
On this map you can see the Indian rebellion, because for some reason the Soviets funded a conservative rebellion in India, and because the Indian player was incompetent as shit and refused to move his units, it ended up the same thing as Indonesia, that the rebels and the Indian army stared each other for many years.
They decided to wage war in the one way they knew how. Staring contests.
Here comes the rebels in India.
The brown rebels, they believe in the color brown. It's like a snake, like snaking around, losing land. Oh, and they're going. Oh, and magically paint some land. That's new. Imagine, like, you know, Emperor Tysar, you know, like he has like the dun 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 dun. I could actually just imagine that playing to this. It's terrible. Makes me want to galvanize up with like my thumbs, you know, be like Cray twins. And I'm cold, Cray. We do not see how the Indian Civil War ends. At this point, I'm done, of course. No one was. We all knew it ended that. And that's done. And
Okay, so if you was to summarize that, what would you say?
border gores, lots of border gore on your toes gore.
I don't know.
Shit, there's so much border gore, and I just like to note how at one point it was almost like the Indian movement was like a snake slithering through India. Maintain no territory, but they still gain some. When did Tibet go? It was like I'm pretty sure Tibet went in the end. Yeah, Tibet stayed independent. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, you convinced me.
Yeah, Tibet, they got invaded by China after the war, so they didn't get the happy ending.
They got their slight amount of freedom, and then China genocided.
Indeed.
Timeline of the game. I want to read the timeline. Whoa.
Yeah, you should, because it's yeah.
For all the boys and girls at home who somehow are still listening to us, and this will probably like in the last bit since I think we're nearing the end. Don't like the end news, huh? Except, no, I'm not going to read it actually. I'm just going to read the interesting parts. They started intervening in 46. Communists called the power in 46 election. The shit. Actually, really fucking boring. Hey, let's just see the last year. France is temporarily self in a role, in fact. Post-turn, French government goes to pro-US stance. Caretaker government takes over to be pro-Rome. As of result, US government variety of alleged unfairness. Coup steers another coup and pro-US years with appeal power charge. Iraq also had the exact same problem. Holy shit, how did this go so balls to the fucking wall?
But you forget the best thing, that what the US could Syria to put the pro-US leaders in power, but the other side of the government didn't know what the CIA was doing. So what happened was the US saw the Syrian troop movements now that they had changed government, and I thought, well, Syria should actually have more troops now that they have built more development. So I did that once they had done the coup, and they thought that this was a threat to Israel. So they actually allied Israel to prevent the pro-US Syrians from expanding their army. So and then they couped Syria again because they were afraid the pro-US. Yeah. No one knew what they were doing, because the KGB and the CIA, they just got money from the treasury and then just do your thing, and half the time they didn't do shit. They forgot that they had a job to do, and when they did stuff, the other side of the government didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't know themselves what they were doing. And for the first 2 weeks of the game, the Americans knowingly had a Soviet spy as the CIA chief.
Oh, that was a spy incident?
They knew he was a spy, but they didn't want to reveal that they knew he was a spy, so they let him keep running the CIA. And he actually attempted to take the CIA budget and funnel it over to the Soviet treasury. But I said that no, that's not the point of the game. You can't do that.
It makes sense historically, but that would be so fucking unfair. God, why did they think that was a good idea? Sorry, just 1 second.
Yeah, you have any questions, Cookie?
I think the insanity explained itself.
Yeah.
That does require a lot of skill to invade your own puppet. CIA, have you ever seen the Johnny English movies? The CIA seems to have been as bumbling as Johnny English. The fucking head of the CIA was a Russian spy. And they all knew that. And they were like, oh my god, the people. Oh, should we cut it off soon? Like, I think we should wrap up. So, God, will we ever do this again, or will this just be the only time we ever try this?
Well, it started off as the Democraciv interviews and debates thing. I hosted that 2 weeks ago, I believe, and we had a show going on for 3 hours with new guests all the evening, and then I ran another one for 2 hours, and then I had a third one. So this was the fourth one, but it turned into this new Democracy gaming podcast thing I have a server for and planned. So the goal is to make this a podcast for all demo games, DemoHOI4, Democraciv, the board game thingies, and DU, and talk about all of them and the meta, constitution, laws, what system works best in what game, and share experiences and stories of what we have been involved in.
I think we probably should wrap up right now, since I'll be going in a bit. Like, it's 12:05 in my time zone, so a bit. So no, 12:05. It's 00:05.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Bowie. It was surprisingly not terrible.
A good time. Virtual fist bump, but we have to name this. We need a name.
A name for what?
The podcast.
Well, I just call it the Democracy Gaming Podcast, but I have no imagination, so.
It's like the Leonard Daquam name. Out. Travel for 2+ hours.
But that's actually the real name for every podcast, though.
True. So we probably just need we need a name. Not your name. It has a good place, but it's just it's like Leonard the Quam, Leonardo the Quam naming. Members every episode. That's kind of the plan. Like like it'll be like me or B and I will be consistent.
Soon you're just listing features, Cookie. You can almost call this the using the microphones show.
Like that one. Just use the mic.
We're speaking and you're listening. The show. Watch it now.
I kind of like that one too. So let's see. So how about? Probably should introduce the term demo gaming. So let's see. Oh, I know. How about stories? Apple's advertising, but like.
Say that again. It cut off.
Demo game war stories. Airing war stories, but I don't know how it works.
Stories of demo gaming?
From the demo games. Tales from the demo games. Let's do that. The demo games.
Sounds more like a story time than a debate and discussion show, though.
True, but no, it has a certain ring to it. Maybe stories or tales. We'll decide it. Like I think I like tales from the demo games, but stories from the demo games are okay too. No, like stories does also feel like tales, but like I just think tales is like more fancy name. No better time like the present. And once again, for the one person who's still watching this podcast, type the NTR in the comments and type the word I've just said, potassium, to get a free fist bump from me. Meat, but virtual fist bump. Anyways, so tales from the demo games.
Maybe we work something out over the next few episodes. Let other people contribute their suggestions
Ideas
as well. Exactly. Anyway, let's end for tonight. I was already tired when I started this 2 hours ago, and I'm not exactly
awake.
No, I'm not more
okay.
awake now. I'm basically a talking zombie in my sleep right now, so let's end it. Thanks for coming, the both of you, and all the guests who have been here tonight.
Bye, and good night.